Okay, we have an SSA case, right? We were solving yesterday, right? I think my pen is too thick right now. Okay, now better. 180 minus, what do you guys end up getting?
158.
158.5936.278.
0.59 what?
4 decimals.
59.
36278.
We round it.
Well, yeah.
Question, why are you crossing off the right side again?
Because you can't add that with 42 and make it less than 180.
Now hold
Yeah,
on,
that's
did anybody really quickly today, did anybody double check the 21.406? Did I really give you two of the same type of example? That's a bummer. Alright, so you guys go ahead and keep solving. Wait, hold on, wait. Some people are probably a little bit confused. Why were we able to cross this out? How come? What do you mean? What would C end up equaling for the right-hand side if you tried to find it? Wait, how would you find it? You would do 180 minus,
Could be negative 20.
we have the 158.593 ... remember no rounding, minus 42 degrees, because isn't that a given that must be true? Minus 42 degrees, you end up getting what kind of angle? Now guys, I'm really sorry that I gave you one that ended up also having only one solution. Struggle. Just trust me, sometimes there are two. Because you don't get a negative. And what was the negative specifically that you do get? Did they find a negative for me? 190.
I think it's negative 20.
0.593? No. 0.417? Oh, it is. Okay. You can have a negative angle in a triangle. The answer is definitively no. So then you guys are stuck over here on the left side, only solving the one normal solution like you're ready. What have you guys already found for C?
116.594.
Okay. Then you were supposed to, after solving for, so we have B, we have now C, and what are we missing? We have A and B and little c. Hopefully you guys used law of signs to solve for that. What did you guys get? 400. Okay, multiple people back that up. Were there any questions to the process? So you guys get, whenever you have SSA, you gotta work on both columns until one of them gets to an impossible point, right? Negative 20.594 degrees is not a possible angle for angle C. So as soon as we saw that, we were able to say, nope, we're done on that side. Does that make sense, kind of? JJ.
Okay, so after you got angle B, how did you get angle C?
On the left side? The same way we did on the right side. Remember, three angles in a triangle have to add up to 180, so we take away one, and we also take away the given one, because we know they both have to be true. Does that make sense? Yeah, so you're just going to do 180 minus both of the other angles, and in this one, it ended up being a negative, which is impossible, and this one ended up being a positive, which we're good with. Is that cool? The side we had to end up using law of signs. Because law of signs in this one, now that we already had sine of 42 over 22, right? So we could go ahead and steal that. I'm not going to solve it out, but I'll set it up. And now that we know angle C, actually don't put the sine on top. What did you guys put on top?
22.
Yeah, because the side is what's missing, so it's a little bit easier to put the missing thing on top. So we can do side A over sine of A. We already have C from up above, so we can do sine of C. Now remember, don't round it. Steal that big ugly number from up above, and then solve for side C just by multiplying. There you go. Solve for little c by multiplying. Is that cool? Any other further questions about the process? What's the only time that we have to make the two columns and check? Good. If you have angle, side. Now, let me go ahead. Do I actually have, I hope I do, a blank piece of paper here somewhere. Oh, I have another example. Perfect. Hopefully this is a different case for you guys. Oh no, there's no picture. Wait, you guys are in geometry. What do you do if there's no picture?
Cheers.
Go home.
That was better.
You guys rarely listen to each other, not only for the sarcastic biting comments that sometimes protrude, but also for bad advice.
A little sarcasm never hurt nobody.
Well,
Besides
Exactly, I agree, Tanner. That double negative is a positive. Ooh, that's math and English all at once.
You tricked us.
Oh, Tyler did. Use law of signs to solve if possible. Draw a triangle, guys. Draw an ambiguous triangle. Make an A, B, C angle. Fill in stuff. It's the easiest way, I think. Unless some of you are like, nah, I can set up law of signs without a triangle. Can you? Oh, come on. They always come in pairs, don't they? Do we have a pair? Yeah, we have an angle A with a side A, true?
Yeah.
So maybe you don't need a picture. I'm filling in slowly because I want you guys to go ahead and be able to get ahead of me. But whether or not you did a picture, were you able to set it up okay? Yeah.
did you get 1.06? How is there 2?
I really hope I can get 3 at the same time. That'd be super annoying. I'm just showing the next step now, hopefully where you were able to get.
Mine has a domain
What? No. Just try again.
Well, I did.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Multiple ones have you got to make errors?
Yes.
How are all these settings off?
Wait, it's not my incompetence.
I guess you're just.
Wait a minute, help me out real quick. Wait, help me out real quick. Let's double check this.
Wait.
What is the number, I know I don't usually ask you to do this, but what is 20 sine of 76 divided by 18? Give me the decimal before sine inverse.
1.078.
Wait, why is that not good? Why is your calculator hating that? Oh, it's not good.
Wait.
It should be hating it.
It's
Now
Yeah,
I'm
it
actually
is.
telling you you're getting the right answer. Why? How big? Look. How big can sine get? Can he get to be 1.078?
No, it can only get to be
No,
one.
the biggest he gets to be is 1. Or the lowest he gets to be is -1. Remember, his range can't go outside of that. So therefore, should it be an error?
Yes.
So what do we say?
That's not possible.
Never mind, this is a non-possible triangle.
Wait, I prefer the term impossible.
Ah, it's more fun.
I know.
Not possible triangle. It is not a possible triangle.
Let's have more of these.
You like these ones?
Yeah.
Those ones were so intense. We need some more practice. Wait, but what about the? You're right.
Yeah, let's just screw all the
So
other
neither
stuff
side works because doesn't both sides depend on, look at it guys, don't both sides depend on having a sine inverse? So if there's no sine inverse, well then forget that, we can't really do much, yeah? There you go, give you a little more room, so you can see a little bit better. But yeah, since our calculator was like, that doesn't work, we have to say, okay, that doesn't work, not a possible triangle, done to one thing.
Dun, dun.
Why am I telling you this? Well, first of all, because I had 2 of the same type of problem with one solution, but second of all, I want you to go back and remember one last time. How many different solutions could the ambiguous case, SSA, the one where you have a yucky unknown in a sign?
None to 2.
None to 2. 0 or 1 or 2. 0 or 1 or 2. If we have time, we might go ahead and try to find a 2 solution one. But for right now, let's go ahead and cover the last big topic in this section, which is an area formula. Wait, what? Why on earth make things harder than they have to be? Why on earth reinvent the wheel and talk about area of a triangle when we already all know, duh, it's 1/2 base times height?
Yeah.
No.
Wait,
Let's just
we
give
only
up.
like 1/2 base times height when we have either a right triangle where two sides are the base and the height, right? Or when we're in that young math and they decide in a picture to be like, yay, we'll tell you the base and the height. Aren't they nice? Is that very realistic now?
Yes.
No. They're going to give you the sides, and the sides in a non-right triangle will not give you the height. Struggle. The sides will not give you the height. Struggle. So why on earth are they giving us this whole B, C, sine of A, blah, blah, blah stuff? Question. If we know side, let's see, let's call this guy real quick, ABC. If we know side, angle, and side. Looking up here. If we know, let me actually add this in real quick. Given, you can fit this in anywhere, it doesn't have to be up above. But given side, angle, side. Given side, angle, side. That's when you want to use this formula. If they give us side, angle, side, which I showed off to the left, they give us little b, little angle A, and little c. How could we find h? Well, we could say that h is its own little right triangle. We could say sine of A is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Oh. Then we could say h is equal to hypotenuse times sine of A. We're just looking at, real quick, this little right triangle that is inside or a part of the bigger triangle. Then I can say area equals 1/2, only I put the equals, sorry. Area equals 1/2 base, which would be B, times height, which would be C sine A. Oh my goodness, doesn't this just come out of a little bit of trigonometry on a non-right triangle? That's kind of cool. But if you memorize this given formula, what does it let you skip? All of this every time. So I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm just saying maybe it's not the wisest thing to do. For instance, in this one, you could do it geometrically and say, all right, I need the height, I don't have the height, struggle. And go ahead and name this little guy H, and I know this little guy is B over here, and I have an included angle of, I don't know him so good. Well, you could though. You could go ahead and figure out that this little guy is 180 minus 102, which would end up being 78 degrees. And if I know 78 and 90, I could go find this guy to be another one. Anyway, I could solve. It'd be a little bit messy, but I could solve. Except this one, I think I might use adjacent over, I might use cosine. But the nice thing is, law of sines works whether the height is going to be on the inside of the triangle or on the outside of the triangle. We don't have to go worrying about geometry if we just have these formulas down, or this formula down. Now, hold on. Gross, there are 3 different ways of writing it. But there's really only one way of saying it, which might make it easier. Half the product of the lengths of 2 sides times the sine of their included angle. What? Do we have to really figure out who's B, who's C, who's A? No. Area is equal to, ready? 1/2 the product of 2 sides times sine of the included angle. You don't have to stress about who's A, who's B, who's C. You can, if that's how your brain works. So, no, I'm going to memorize it and I'm going to fit it in. Okay, that's fine. In this one, it would have technically been, according to our chart or according to our formulas, 1/2 of, we have A, we have B, and we're multiplying by a sine of C. That's technically what we're plugging into. But if you understand, it's just side with the included angle for side, angle, side. No big deal. So it's like, I have side, angle, side. Check. 1/2 side times the angle. No, times sine of the angle. Why do you guys think that this is in the law of sines section?
Because
Has sign.
Because it has sign. Not because it has side angle side. Side angle side isn't good for law of sines. Law of sines is good when there are two angles or when it's the ambiguous case. But since it has a sign in it, it goes with all the other stuff with sign in it, which is the law of sines. If you guys haven't solved it yet, ready, set, go. It should be easy, easy peasy. Plug it in, plug it in. Who already has the answer for me? Sorry, I will be red.
2, 2.
Tyler, what do you got?
4,552.299 square meters.
Is it 952.22?
I got 2,288.
That's what I got. 2288.865386. Tyler, you're wrong.
We're all wrong? Let's struggle.
Tyler, you're fired.
Hold on, double check, double check, double check. You in degree mode, right?
Pressure.
0.865?
Yeah.
Double check, double check. So the area formula is not hard as long as you're given side angle side in this section. I think you'll only be given that, so it's not a big stressor. But once again, it does come from geometry. There is a reason as to why it is what it is. It's not just randomly something that popped out of nowhere, but it just saves us a little bit of work. Is that cool? I'll answer myself. Yeah, it's cool. All right, thanks. Anyway, so homework 37, section 6.1 is due on Monday. Since I don't have a blank page, I'm just going to go ahead and do one more example real quick. Not to stress you guys out, but just to let us know what else might happen. Solve the triangle. One last example in this section. Then we're going to start 6.2, but not very much. Solve the triangle given. Let's do angle A is equal to 80 degrees. Side C is equal to 5. And side A is equal to I don't want it to be impossible. No, change that. Make side C equal to 3. Make side A equal to 5. Struggle with that one either. Come on.
Oh.
I know. It's hard to keep you up. You guys are so mean. So mean. That one does work? No, it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't have 2.
Oh, it doesn't have 2, so that's the problem. How about I know. Why is this not working? What if I do switch those again? Start that backwards. As you guys notice, it doesn't happen. It's like the 2 case, they have to kind of make it happen. Aha! Okay. Change the that to that and that to that and make this 35.
Huh?
There you go.
You didn't do it.
There it is. Try that. Good thing is you guys don't have to come up with problems, right? That could have been left.
Right. Yeah. I feel like this might give us two solutions.
It might. Go figure.
Have you been staring at a screen?
No, she's using my calculator.
Aha! Go team. Whew. Alright, took a while.
I already wrote on the works
For which one?
for the last one.
Just fill in the numbers, you got it. That's what you guys, it does happen, it's just not very often. We're solving for angle C first, right? Are we really good at setting up log signs? You see the pair, and we know that's going to be what we set everything equal to. Put the sign on top because he's the guy who's missing somebody. What do you guys get with sign inverse only?
11.138 or 11.139.
142.067.
I should have looked at it.
101?
72.
Oh, 72.
Oh, okay, I see what
72. Then 180 minus that would be 10.
107.067.
Okay, now hold on. We have to find the next angle where we have A, true. Now we have C. So we're solving for angle B. 180 minus everybody. For the left possibility, what do we got? JJ louder.
Oh wait, no, that's for the right side.
Oh, sorry. Who has the left side? Let's go to the right side while we're waiting. So what'd you get for the right side, JJ?
37.933.
Wait a minute, that's a positive angle.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, how did that happen? Anyway. Positive angle is possible, yeah? So we did, instead of the left side, because people are still working on it, we did 180 minus angle A minus angle C for the right side, we got angle B. Then for the left side, who does that now? No, it's not.
I screwed up again.
0.067, anyone back in Nathan up? Yeah. I think so. So now we have, let's see, all together? We have all three angles. We have side C, we have side A. You should be solving for little b. Hopefully you guys are still going to solve for little b on this side because we have ourselves two sets of solutions, and so we have to put a big old or in between. At the end of the day, we're going to be boxing the whole shabam and saying, hey, we don't know exactly which one it is because both of them are possible answers. Has anybody with law of signs got me B on the left? Aww, you slappers.
You're working on it.
Okay. If you sign of 72.06 times 3 divided by a sine of 35. That should be about it.
No, 5. No, it was. Yeah, I wrote it down.
I think it should end up little b equals sine of 73.06 right? Times sine A. What do you got,
I got 3. Oh, no, wait. I'm doing it.
the other side though, I'm gonna need it in a second.
For the first side, I got 4.976.
Perfect. Go team. And Tyler, what do you got on what are you getting on the other side?
3.215.
I'll let people back you up. Just say hi. If you get it.
What was it?
3.215 is what you got on the other side. Double check that it's right. Which should have been sine of 37.933. Well, 9 dot 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 times 3. All of the sine is 35. Yeah? Cool. Nathan says yes. Woo! There's a 2 solution one. That was law of sines in its entirety. Usually it's easy. The only time it gets hard, one more time, is when you have the case what? As A. Yeah? And we can tell that because there's sign of it unknown and we're like, stink, we gotta do inversey stuff. Let's go ahead and start section 6.2, but I did hear a plea from someone to go ahead and come back here for just a second if anyone's still writing down stuff. Ashley, what's up, kid?
I've been doing it in the calculator wrong, so how do you put it in?
Are you guys in degree mode?
Yeah.
And you put this exact thing right over here, you put that in?
Yeah.
And you're doing sine inverse, second sine, right?
Yep.
What on earth? And you're in degree mode. What else can go wrong? Where? Make sure when you do your sine, are you ending it after 35? Double check what you put in your calculator. Are you putting an end parenthesis after 35? I don't know where else it's I would type it all at once, guys. I would do second sine, which has a big old parenthesis, 5 sine, parenthesis 35, end parenthesis, divided by 3, another end parenthesis. Does that make sense? Second sine, 5 sine, 35, end parenthesis, divided by 3, end parenthesis. Is that better?
No, I spelled an error.
An error?
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Alright, well, Ashley shows me calculator. Austin, if you want to bring me yours too, let me see. We're just going to get started on log cosines. Sine inverse is outside of everybody. So you have your 5 times. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then your sine of 35 and yeah. Sine inverse is far outside. The whole shebang's on the inside. Go show Austin. You just want to type it exactly how you see it. Sorry, it's a little small, huh? There you go. Is that better? Oh, no! There are 6 of them! It's not that bad. I'm going to put this guy in parentheses, because you don't technically have to know him, but he sure can be useful. You can go get it, Tyler. Don't die. Don't die.
12.
If you guys notice, law of cosines is used for the other cases, where you have more than one side. Law of sines, more than one angle except for the ambiguous case. Law of cosines, more than one side. Technically, you can do the ambiguous case with law of cosines also. I think there's a homework problem that we'll probably look at on Tuesday. No, we might look at the homework problem on Monday. Homework 6.1 is due on Monday. 6.2 will be due on Tuesday. We're starting it today, we'll finish it tomorrow.
Nice shot, Ricky.
All those had a degree.
Honor to Mr. Kim for football.
See, Tyler, cross country kids usually get the highest grades.
Yeah, that's true.
At least as far as the average team GPA. They usually get the
They have
Huh?
You guys like know that? What's soccer at?
You don't want to know.
It's a negative number,
Like it's
buddy.
really low.
As long as you guys can still be playing, right? Have fun.
There's a couple of
In the sense of
zeros
not
in
knowing.
front of
All the sports get committed, but cross country is its own level of mental toughness.
It's a lot of dogs.
Mental
Yeah,
illness.
They're
Yeah.
so
Switch
devoted
backs
to
on
wanting to
outside.
die.
Mental illness or mental toughness?
Toughness.
I bet they both.
You have a bit of both.
A lot of other athletes would shy away from the switch backs.
Seriously.
Alright, side, angle side. Now hold on, wait. Just like law of signs, what do you think determines who goes on the left side?
What you have.
What you want for
On the left side?
what you want.
What you're missing, what you want. So you want little a, little b, little c. You are missing a side.
What you have determines what you're missing, which determines what.
I know, but I said specifically what was okay. What are you gonna put on the left side? There you go. What you're missing, right? So on this one, the side is missing. And on this one, the angle is missing. So technically the two forms go together, but, because they, directly guys, if you look at the left-hand side, if you solve for cosine of A by subtracting him, dividing by the negative him, you get this form. Like, they're the same thing, but rearranged. The dealio is if you know the rearrangements, life gets a lot easier as far as how quickly you can solve. And some of you would mess up signs and all sorts of stuff if you actually had to do the, hey, let's move it, let's divide it thing. A lot of you would get mixed up in that step. So, it's going to be easier to use the alternative form when the angle is missing, because that's what's on the left, all nice and isolated. Wait, it's still not isolated. Who's outside of each of those? Whoa, cosine. Cosine's on the outside, so how are we going to get rid of him to solve for the angle?
Inverse.
Oh no. Ambiguous? No. It's not. That's the nice thing, because cosine, remember cosine?
Oh, yeah.
Cosine isn't positive in quadrants 1 and 2. Cosine is positive in quadrants 1 and 4. Question, a positive angle in a triangle, is that cool? Yeah. Is a negative angle cool in a triangle?
No.
No. So cosine inverse, we don't have to worry about the other possibility, because whatever cosine inverse gives us is the one and only answer, which is perfect. So, even though you are going to have to do cosine inverse to get to the A, B, and C, wait, you guys understand that, right? To get to A, B, and C, to get to each of your little baby angles, you're going to have to undo the cosine by doing cosine inverse to the other side. Are we okay? My kiddos having problems with calculators, we're going to do it to the entire other side, right? Cosine inverse of the whole yuckiness. Okay, hold on, let's review real quick in our calculators then. Because some of you are like, and you might put this in wrong. There is a lot on this desktop. I need to get rid of all these old videos.
Delete them.
It's a struggle. While I do that, let me go ahead and get back. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this thing. Him. Okay, let me get you guys an example to play with law of cosine on. What are you missing? An angle. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Hold on, let's decide as a class. Okay, the smart view is just chilling. What angle are we all going to solve for first? We gotta choose
Cosine
one.
A.
A. Okay, solve for A. Go. Come on, you got it. David, you got it. Let's solve for A. Let's solve for angle A. I'm not going to give you a lot of time, because the whole point that I'm trying to not prove, but remind you of, is sometimes putting things in your calculator gets tricky, and I want us all to be getting the right answers, right? So if we're solving for angle A, hopefully you guys put cosine inverse, sorry, let me start earlier. Cosine of A equals, what's the formula? Just read me the formula real quick.
B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2B.
Good. So plugging into that, I get A is equal to, so I'm going to take cosine inverse of the whole other side, the whole thing. B is 19 squared plus 14 squared minus A is 8 squared all over 2 times 19 times 14. Now remember, we're trying to use our calculators efficiently. Not doing tons of separate facts and having to write it down a million times over and then get this nasty decimal and then take cosine inverse. Ew, 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 ew. Your calculator is amazing if you use it well and use it right, okay? So I'm trying to do cosine inverse of all this bleh. Some of you, if you were trying just to type it, you would forget the entire numerator would need to go in parentheses. So you have to do a big old parentheses for the numerator. 19 squared plus 14 squared minus 8 squared, and parentheses, then do your division.
Or you could just use the fraction.
Or you could just use that really nifty fractiony bar, unless you have one of the ones, oh, that's not what I meant to do. Unless you have one of those old-fashioned-y ones with the yellow button. You're going to have to do the parentheses to the entire numerator, but otherwise, how do you do the cool fraction thing? I think my cursor was on alpha, wasn't it? Why? Okay.
This is alpha F1.
I need that, right? The n over d, alpha y equals, as long as you don't have a yellow button right here. You can do this. Ooh, that's pretty. Then you won't get all mixed up. Remember, we saw at the beginning of the year, just some of you just kind of, I don't know, tuned out or something. 19 squared, that's a comma, not a square, sorry. Plus 14 squared. Minus 8 squared. Now you're going to get it all messed up? No, because you have a nice numerator and you have a nice denominator. Do it all at once, don't waste time. Then you can do a big old end parenthesis, go. Got it good?
11.993.
Uh-oh. Did I type something in wrong? I had 22.
No, I got 22.
That's good to me.
22. 22 is at 0.075? Angle A, done to the left side. Oh, I'm gonna have to do this 3 times.
Use the law of sine.
No, only 2.
You could use the law of sines, but you only have one angle, so you're gonna have an ambiguous case. Don't do that.
It's easier.
Instead, why don't you use law of nothing, cosines? Sorry, it took me a second.
Got it.
But do we really have to do this 3 times?
No.
No, once you have 2, now what? 180 minus, it's easy. 3 angles add up to 180 in a triangle, yeah? And then once you have the pattern once, guys, it's really not that bad. Can't you even go up and copy the one that you just did, just change the numbers? If you're finding angle B, I need C, and I need A, and I subtract B, then 2AC. Who already found them for me? Anybody?
Nope.
Aw, party poopers. Tyler's trying.
Why 1.1?
Alright, kiddos, we have 10 seconds. We'll continue section 6.2 on Monday, but just so we're on the same track, what's due on Monday?
6.1, a lot of sleep.
A lot of sleep, a little bit of rest, and get to nothing. Wait,
A lot of video games too.
rest meaning non-sleep rest.
Also, you
Bye,
too.
later.
Let's do it. Have a
Have
great
a great
weekend.
weekend, everybody. Enjoy your rest of Friday.
I was actually just setting my calculator clock.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Your calculator has a clock?
Wait,
Well, you know, kind of.
So confused.
Well, it started because